This is the first of our quarantine live streams, and it's day 50 for us, depending on where in the world you are. It's who knows. In a second, we're going to bring on Camila and we're going to bring on Beto. But to start, I just want to talk about how this whole thing came about. This was our first feature, and we had just finished Private Sales. When did we finish that? It was 2016.
Yeah, went up onto Amazon in April of 2016.
So we had finished that. We made 3 attempts at starting features, one that we got completely finished and didn't want to release, and that's a whole nother live stream. And then we had a FaceTime call with an actor or an actress, whatever is appropriate today, in New York. And were you on that call, Taylor?
I don't think I was, no.
And it's just, every once in a while we'll have these Skype casting calls, and there's something, they've got us something, and we knew right away we wanted to work with her, and we told her about a film we wanted to do, and the plan was to shoot it in New Zealand. And a day later, in fact, let me play a clip, because a day later, this happened.
The first thing that came to my mind was that it would be a really good idea to show them how actually the things my country had to offer.
So a couple days later, she sends this email full of PowerPoints.
What Colombia is like today, and all these places that we can film. And
I prepared these big documents, and I was so organized, putting the information, the pictures, and things that they would like.
She had listened to exactly the story we told her and had mapped it across the country, showing us each town with pictures.
They were convinced, and they asked me if I wanted to help them and if I wanted to be part of the project.
And it just looked like an amazing country, so we're like, yeah, of course, let's go to Colombia, let's film this movie.
But that's how it happened.
Hello!
Hola.
I was watching it.
So I got to ask you, do you remember the first Skype call?
Of course. I almost cried watching the thing you did. Remembering all the things that I sent it to you. Yesterday I was actually telling my boyfriend about how it happened. And the first Skype call was actually an audition for Private Sales.
Season 2.
For your show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I translate a little bit of it?
Sure.
Because some people are watching. Bueno, para las personas que lo están viendo en español, estamos hablando acerca de la primera llamada que tuvimos entre la productora y pues conmigo, que en realidad fue una videollamada que era una audición para un show que ellos estaban haciendo, que también está en Amazon, que se llama Private Sales, que es muy bueno. You guys should see it, lo deberían ver. Y estaba haciendo el casting para un personaje en la segunda temporada. Yeah, so it was actually an audition.
Yeah, and Private Sales, as of I think last month, is now available in South America. So if they want to check it out, they can.
Yeah.
So we flew in, and we knew almost nothing about Colombia. We don't speak a word of Spanish, and so we were completely.
No, you do.
Hola.
Hola.
But yeah, this came about. We were watching a bunch of films from a guy named Joe Swanberg, who did improv films. And he had done about 10 of these feature films before he did Drinking Buddies, which a lot of people know about. And then he has a new series on Netflix called Easy. And he has almost unscripted. It's just sort of outlines of what it is, and the actors come up with their own dialogue. And that was our plan on Coffee with Anna. Only the beginning and the end was scripted, but for the most part, it was improv with you and Taylor. Right?
Yeah,
Mr.
sí, entonces...
Oh, yeah, you want to translate?
Sean estaba contando que acerca de... What's the name of the director?
Joe Swanberg.
Él tiene unas series que también están en Netflix que son muy buenas, que se llaman Easy. Después voy a buscar y se las voy a poner en mi Instagram. Donde antes de hacer creo que las cosas que ha estado haciendo, antes hacía mucho cine. Y bueno, esta serie también es donde hay como una base de las escenas, pero en realidad durante las escenas hay mucha improvisación de los personajes. Hay como una situación y los personajes mismos empiezan como a crear la escena a partir de esa situación. Y así fue como empezamos Coffee with Anna. I remember I was really like, I was excited, but also I was kind of nervous because it was going to be improvising too.
Sure.
But I had to trust you guys, and I had to trust you as a director to say which ones worked and which ones didn't work.
Yeah, and you know, when we arrived, I think this film, if we sort of summed up what this film was about as an experience, it was about family.
Yeah.
You know, your family. It just without your family, the film wouldn't have happened. And this wasn't the plan going in, but it just your mom stepped up just in a huge way. David Ospina helped just huge in making this happen. Now, so we get there. You greeted us. We had never met you in person. Met you at the airport. I remember you had a big sign there. You had decorations in the car, and so the first night the plan was to stay at your place, and so we went there. Went actually your parents' house, and there's a clip from the documentary we made about that, and I don't know if you've seen this clip, but
I think it's
all right. Here it is, and then you can translate after. The first night we were staying at Camila's parents' house.
Sean is 6'2", I'm 6'3". You know, we're not small people.
We walk into the bedroom.
And the bed was probably about 4 feet wide and maybe 5 feet long.
The bed wasn't much bigger than this table.
So me and Sean were like,
When we slept sort of like all tight like this, back to back.
trying to fall asleep like the entire night. It was a rough night's sleep. You cannot get two bigger people in one smaller mattress, you know. Yeah, so after that, we're like, okay, from now on, it's just going to be hotel rooms because, you know, we'll have to fit it into the budget.
Now I have no idea how that, I have no idea if that translates or even, I don't know how well people can hear it out there, but no, listen.
I am so sorry. I still think about that.
But you know what we found?
Of course, I've never seen you guys in person, but I'm tiny. I'm like 5'3". I don't know what I thought. Like, I don't know what I was thinking when I
it actually worked out great. But we did find that, you know, part of the idea for the show was Taylor's suitcase gets stolen in the movie, and he would have to just buy local clothes. But we couldn't find anything that would fit either of us in Colombia. Yeah,
Sí, John estaba diciendo que esta película realmente es algo muy familiar, porque tanto muchas personas de mi familia, casi toda mi familia colaboró en la película, hizo parte de la película, y muchos amigos, y la persona que en ese momento era mi novio, que se llama David, ellos fueron personas que nos ayudaron un montón. Mi mamá estuvo también súper pendiente, me acompañó a traerlos del aeropuerto, les teníamos el cartel, el carro decorado, y cuando fueron a quedarse en la casa de mis papás, porque pues ahí era donde se iban a hospedar, la cama que les pusimos era súper pequeña, y pues ellos son, how tall are you?
Taylor is 6'3".
Like, you're insanely tall.
Yeah, Taylor's 6'3", I'm 6'2", so we're
that's like in centimeters, do you know?
No. Centimeters were about as good as our Spanish. So
I think it's like 173 or something.
Bueno, supongo que son muy altos. Después les contaré exactamente cuánto, pero pues obviamente yo mido 1.60 y los puse en una camita a los dos, súper pequeña, que no sé por qué carajos los puse ahí a dormir. Obviamente la primera noche casi no pudieron dormir porque obvio no cabían, o sea, tenían que dormir como... Era muy chistoso. Pero bueno, I forgot the last part.
Oh, just and then trying to find clothes for Taylor for the scenes.
Entonces, you understand Spanish.
Entonces, Taylor does better than I do, but he's got a younger brain.
Entonces, eso lo usamos para hacerlo parte de la película, porque pues metimos en la película que como a el personaje de Taylor le roban la maleta que él trae a Colombia, buscar ropa para él acá era muy difícil, porque a menos de que fuéramos como a un centro comercial súper grande, pero si ven la película se van a dar cuenta de que ellos viajan en un momento, entonces en ese momento es cuando él necesita la ropa y encontrarla en estos pueblos es súper difícil. Entonces obviamente utilizamos todo esto para meterla en la película.
So let's move to first day of shooting. We got a hotel after that. So from then on out, at least when we were in Bogota, we got a hotel so that we could have a slightly bigger beds. And then let me just go to this still. So one of the first shooting locations was a high rise in Bogota. We were a little worried being in Colombia because all we were just being Americans, we only know what we see in the media and movies. And so, but everything had gone against type being there. I mean, everything we thought it would be wasn't. It was, the people were great. Just everyone we met was fantastic. So we get to the first location that Camila's mom had set up. We needed this high-rise office. And we go to pull into the underground, and they wouldn't let Taylor and I in with the equipment in the car. And so we took all the gear out of the car, and you told us to meet you in the lobby, and you went to the underground. And we walked in with the equipment past two guys with machine guns. And then we just walked in the lobby and sat the stuff down and stood there. Yeah.
And all these
And
people
you
are
guys
just staring
didn't
at us.
knew how to say what you were doing there because you knew no Spanish.
So the first armed guard came up to us, and he didn't speak English, and of course we didn't speak Spanish. He was concerned, and then he went to go get another armed guard who came over, who we were in the same situation, and so we stood there, and they didn't want us to touch the cases, which is understandable. We didn't know who we were going to see. We didn't have a name. Finally, Camila walked in and took care of it. I don't know. What did you know there was a situation going on when you walked in?
I had no idea. I was just looking for you guys. I was so concentrated on the film and on the movie that I didn't even care about anything. I was just with my head in the movie, so I didn't realize that it happened. And then you told me, and it scared me because I was like, okay, I can't leave you guys alone.
and you didn't, and we appreciate it. But that being said, really nothing happened. They were just doing their job, and that was the only thing that that made me concerned during the whole trip. And of course, having Taylor there, not only was I wasn't so concerned about myself, but my wife would kill me if anything happened to Taylor.
Well, there's the altitude.
Oh, yeah.
And Sean thought the first few nights that we were there that he was going to have a heart attack because the altitude made it hard to breathe at times. You would just sit up out of bed and then you would be out of
The
breath.
altitude,
And
of
Sean
course,
told me,
but
he's
you
like, I
guys
think I'm going to
must
die. I'm
have
like,
been-
don't worry, I feel it too.
Yeah. So sometimes when we do films, we don't use actual actors, especially some small parts. And we needed to have someone to play Camila's grandparents. And we found that the two best actors to play her grandparents were her grandparents. And so I think they made their film debut, right? In the film?
Yeah, and they're so cute. I mean, I'm so happy about this movie because it has everything that matters to me, and just that that my grandparents just took the risk to participate in this film without even knowing about this world, just trusting you and trusting me. That for me meant the world. So it was like all the best things of my life together.
So here's a quick clip with your grandparents talking about, what was the breakfast? Sargucha? How do you pronounce it?
Changua.
Oh, okay, yeah. See? All right. Have a look at the clip.
What is it?
Si te gusta.
¿Te gusta?
Do you like the changua? It's called changua.
Si
What?
te gusta.
What's in it?
¿Qué tiene?
Agua, leche, huevo, cilantro, cebolla.
So, eggs, water, milk, and cilantro,
An onion.
and onion.
they did great. Did your grandfather enjoy the experience? He's a tougher guy to read, but I think he did, but I wasn't sure.
He's actually I'm gonna translate just a bit part of it.
You bet.
Pero bueno, primero estábamos hablando acerca del primer día de grabación, donde estábamos grabando en lo que era la oficina la oficina principal de la empresa, pues, del café. Y esto era en una empresa de seguros, donde obviamente, pues, manejan mucho dinero, mucha plata, entonces hay seguridad, hay gente afuera donde te toman el registro, hay gente con, pues, los de seguridad con revólveres, todo. Y yo tenía que meter el carro y ellos tenían que salir, entrar por la portería con todo el equipo de grabación y nos encontraríamos adentro. Entonces, mientras yo no sabía que esto estaba pasando, los pararon a ellos dos, a Taylor y a Sean, con todo el equipo, porque pues no sabían qué carajos tenían en todas esas maletas. Y Sean y Taylor pues no sabían español para explicarles qué era lo que estaba pasando, de que simplemente íbamos a subir a grabar, que teníamos permiso, no tenían un nombre ni nada. Y cuando yo llego, pues simplemente llego como súper pendiente de toda la grabación, no me di cuenta de que esto estaba pasando. Les dije como, no, sí, vamos, sigamos, no sé qué, vamos a vernos con bla, bla, bla. Y ya, como que pudimos seguir. Pero obviamente se asustaron un montón porque no sabían cómo hablar, cómo decirles en español qué era lo que estaba pasando, y los de seguridad tampoco sabían inglés para hablar con ellos y preguntarles como qué carajos estaban haciendo ahí. Y también estábamos hablando acerca de que mis abuelos hicieron de mis abuelos en la película. Entonces, pues ahí vieron un clip de la película donde están mis abuelitos actuando, que para mí, pues obviamente ha sido de las cosas más lindas de mi vida, porque es compartir algo que yo amo con mi familia, que es para mí una de las cosas también más importantes. Y Sean me estaba hablando de si a mi abuelito le había gustado la experiencia, porque mi abuelito es súper serio. Because he's actually really serious, but he's the most like loving guy in the world. I have learned all of like a lot of myself I have learned from him. So he's really emotional, and I think that's why he doesn't like express a lot, because he gets really emotional. Oh, but he loved it. And then watching it with you guys, they love you. Like my grandparents and my entire family love you guys.
Yeah, and right back at them. They were amazing, and they are amazing.
Yeah.
So the first part of the film we shot in Bogota, and then we piled into a car. Let me just give the audience an idea of piled into David's car, and whatever could fit is what we could take on the road trip portion of the film. And so we got in and we headed out of town.
We went to like a lot of different places in the same, se llama departamento in Colombia. That's how we call them. So it's little towns in the same, I don't know how you guys can call that.
Yes, I guess it would be like LA County, and then there's all the suburbs of LA County. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we went to this like towns, and in each town we were like making things come up with Taylor, because we already had the relationship, like we already knew like the characters we were. We already knew kind of the history that they had. Each of them had like their history, and now we kind of know the relationship they have in each place, because in each place the relationship they have, it keeps evolving.
Camila, what are some of the things that you remember about the trip out there?
I remember everything. I remember the coffee farm. I remember that everyone was so nice to us. We got a shot in the oh my god, the drone. How can I forget the drone in Barichara?
Yeah.
We went to Barichara. That is an amazing town. It's a beautiful place, and we I don't know what happened with the drone, but it
I think Taylor,
fell down
'cause
in
yeah.
another house.
I was flying. I think Taylor can explain what
Yeah.
my piloting skills.
Yeah, so I don't know whether Sean didn't have his glasses or what, but we're looking at the little monitor trying to, and we couldn't find it. It was too high up, so we hit the automatic return button, and it started flying back, and all of us are looking in a different place, and then all of a sudden I see out of the corner of my eye that it's heading right for some power lines. And then we're all yelling, trying to make it stop, trying to hit the cancel button. And it wouldn't stop flying towards the power lines. And it hit the power lines and flew somewhere into someone's backyard. And then we were convinced that the drone was gone forever. But we could see that it was pointing up at a tree in someone's backyard. And Camila, David, and I went to this one house where we thought it was, where these two really scary looking older men with a bunch of dogs let us into their house.
Like giant dogs.
Yeah, and the dogs were jumping everywhere, and then the one guy had a whip to control the dogs. So it was just and the drone wasn't there. It was just really scary. And then eventually we found you want to hold the base there?
That was the moment we found it.
Yeah.
It didn't work the rest of the trip, but fortunately we had what we needed. We haven't played a clip. I just want to play a quick clip of you and Taylor, and this is Taylor trying to say the word Colombia.
I really like Colombia.
Colombia or Colombia?
Colombia.
Colombia.
That's what I'm saying.
You're saying it wrong.
Colombia.
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 With an O.
Colombia.
Colombia.
Oh, that's what I'm
Oh my
saying.
god, you suck at this. Colombia.
Colombia.
Forget it.
Are so they're so real. Like they actually happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of games we found in the film were games we actually found, like Taylor and I, about like me as a Colombian and him as an American that had never been to South America. So I think that's the most beautiful part of the film, because it really shows like these contrasts and how they can merge together and make sense.
Yeah.
And then there's the ants. The popcorn
the
ants.
ants.
You buy these at the little store, and they're packaged in a little jar. And explain what it is, Camila.
Yeah, well, those used to be my favorite snacks as a kid. Son las hormigas culonas, que ustedes ya las conocen, que desde chiquita yo las amaba con todo mi ser. They're fried ants with big butts.
With big butts,
And
yeah.
I used to love them. They tasted like popcorn for me.
Yeah, Camila the whole trip is telling me how amazing these ants are, and how it's like they taste exactly like popcorn and they're so good.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
we're
wow,
being
maybe
really excited.
they're gonna be great. And then I ate one, and it tasted like fried dirt. And in the film we got my actual reaction to the first taste of an ant, and it was disgusting.
Like, I actually couldn't believe it that he didn't like it. It's weird. I don't know. I mean, it's not weird because people here, like, it's not like all Colombians like hormigas culonas. No. But for me, it's weird that someone wouldn't like them, even if they're Colombian, Americans, whatever.
But you realize that, like,
I knew
that
it.
day we had actual popcorn. And then we, on our way back, or on our way there, we had the ants, and it's like, yeah, there's no comparison, at least to me. I felt bad. I wanted to like them so bad, but
We finished our road trip, and at the end of the film, there's a big party, and we didn't know. So one while we're on the road, Camila and her mom and her dad are organizing this party, not only to feed the people, but to get the location. And then, it's one of these happy accidents where a third of what the film is about is the music of the film. And so Camila had reached out to someone. We'll find out in a second how this all came about, because I'm not exactly sure how this connection happened. But what I didn't realize is who the person was and how lucky we were to get him. Anyway, this is just here's Beto, who composed the music for the film, and here's who he is.
Para que bailes tú, Chile.
Good to see you. So we don't know the story behind this story of how you ended up in the party scene, which is where we first met you. And this is before we even knew that your music would be used throughout the film. But Camila, how did this happen?
I remember in that time, vamos a hablar acerca de cómo hicimos esta conexión con Beto, que es una persona maravillosa, que le estaré agradecido toda mi vida. Bueno, yo en ese momento vivía en Nueva York y me acuerdo que yo ponía no me acuerdo qué emisora era, pero yo la ponía ahí mientras arreglaba el cuarto, hacía mis oficios, mis cosas, y obviamente yo estaba muy pendiente del tema de la película, y para mí pues siempre ha sido muy importante obviamente apoyar y ser parte de pues talento local, que hay demasiado, y más pues porque yo en ese momento vivía en Nueva York y extrañaba mucho la casa, mucho la casa. Y me acuerdo de que estaban haciendo como una entrevista y empiezo a escuchar esta canción que preciso acaba de sonar, donde a mí se me aguan los ojos de la emoción y yo digo, ¿quiénes son estas personas? Necesito encontrar a estas personas. Y las busco por Instagram y digo, bueno, no pierdo nada con escribirles y contarles el proyecto. Si les interesa, pues yo súper honrada. Si no, pues no pasa nada, igual seguiré escuchando su gran música. So what I was saying in Spanish is that I used to live in New York while I was doing like the pre-production for the film. And of course, the first thing on my mind every day was this film. And I remember I was working in my house or like cleaning or something, and I had the radio, I had the Colombian radio, and they were, I remember the song that was, that we showed earlier. It's about like going to, I don't quite remember the lyrics, but it said about Colombia and traveling to another place, being in another place while really like missing all the great things that Colombia as a country has. And I just remembering my eyes like almost turning down because I was so excited. And the first thing I thought, I need to look for them on Instagram, see who they are, and ask them if they want to be a part of this movie. I'm going to tell them everything. And if they say yes, I'll be so honored. And if they say no, well, I'll just keep listening to their music. And they were so nice. They were so nice. I was nervous. I didn't really know like what the film was going to end up being. So I was nervous in both sides, like making these connections, not knowing what was going to happen. But I'm just so glad I took the chance, because if you listen to their music, they're really like, all of the lyrics say something, and they have like rhythms of different parts of Colombia, and it's I don't know, just I'm gonna let Beto talk.
Yeah, Beto, from your point of view, do you remember that Instagram, that first contact, And what was your thoughts?
Yeah, well, first of all, I was very excited about the fact that someone out of the blue, no? Because usually you do the work or you approach people so they invite you to their concerts or the movies or whatever. But this time it was Camila who reached to us. So that was a very great thing. Of course, we were excited about it. But I think the second thing is that the fact that she was in New York. And this song, Llegar a Nueva York, but it just tells the story about a man who wants to go from Bogota to New York, but his visa is denied. So he takes a boat and he goes through the Caribbean until he reached the Statue of Liberty. So I think those things are meant to be, right? Like this was meant to happen.
Yeah, no, and so we arrived it wasn't long before we shot the party scene, and you had, part of your band there, and so you're in the film at the end. But yeah, I had no idea what was about to happen as far as, that was the last scene, and we went home and we edited the film, and we realized two things. One, we needed to go back and pick up some shots because while we were there, we couldn't even see the footage we were shooting. We didn't have enough time to sit and do pre-edits and make sure we had everything. So, but as we were editing, we started using other songs from your different albums and putting it in the film, and it was just right. And of course, I had no idea whether you were going to let us use the music. And so when we flew back to Colombia for the second time to do the pickup shots, I remember you came to our hotel, and I was really excited to show you sort of an early cut with your music. And that hotel, they go, "Oh, well, we have a theater upstairs. You can use that." And so you and your wife came, and we went into the theater, and there was no projector. They didn't have a projector. They didn't have a player, but they had some really great seats. And so we went down to the coffee shop and we showed you on the laptop, and you didn't hesitate. You just said, "Yeah, great. Let's use whatever you want. I'll write stuff." And without that, the film wouldn't have had the feel it did. It just wouldn't have been the same film. So thank you. I don't know if I ever properly thanked you, but thank you.
Sean, I mean, as we have said, Sean doesn't know Spanish, and he is still, I think he chose the perfect song for each moment. And I think it's also because of the music. The music that you guys have says a lot. Not even just the lyrics, but just like the music itself. Because I think you choose the right songs for each part.
Thank you for letting us use your music, and like I said, it made the film.
Yeah, I just want to say that for us it was like a dream come true, really, because you guys had so many locations, and our music, it's all about Colombia. It's all about rescuing all the genres and all the rhythms that comes from the dance music and the cumbia and everything about the folklore. So it just fit perfectly. So it was like the best deal for us. Thank you guys. That's the truth.
All right, we'll have to do it again. Yep. So
yes.
we did the pickup shots. Yeah. We went back home, finished the film, submitted it to Amazon. I mean, we knew we'd be on, but we didn't know when. And then we went back for a big Colombian film festival. And there was a bunch of interesting experiences in that.
Oh, yeah, like the radio interview.
Yep. Camila, you probably don't know this story, but...
Yeah, so...
What?
Camila, I don't know, because you were sitting on the opposite side of the table. During the interview, there was this younger assistant, during the middle of the interview, she just started taking off her top for no reason.
What?
I don't know if it was because it was hot or whatever, but she was wearing this button-down shirt like this, and all of a sudden she just took it off. It was wearing like a bra underneath, and then for like 30 minutes just continued as if nothing was strange at all about her just being like half naked. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that's just Colombia. And then.
Can you please repeat? 'Cause I just heard naked. She took off her shirt, her top.
Yeah, so can you hear me better?
Really confused.
Oh, yeah, you can probably hear me better because I'm closer to the Skype mic. But yeah, the lady who, and again, I don't know if she was the assistant producer, but yeah, it was during the interview, she just took her top off and she just sat there in her bra. And I couldn't see it, but Taylor just had a straight shot of it and it completely threw him.
It was really exciting, just seeing the film all together and watching it with a lot of people, because it was like watching all of the things we did earlier. It was my first time producing something and like doing so many things, a part of acting. It was just it was amazing just sharing it with you guys and seeing the result.
Yeah, and so we had two screenings. We had one originally supposed to be this really great grand theater, and the power went out in that theater. I don't know if you remember. We went to do to test the film and see it, and their power went out, and so they moved us to a museum where we had a packed house, had a great Q&A after. Thank you for your translations. And then we had the one at the actual movie theater. Again, just a really great audience, packed audience. Your grandparents were there with us. It was the greatest screening of a film we've ever had.
Yeah.
So,
No.
yeah, and I'll end our experience. So the very last night we were there, we went out to dinner with your mom and dad. And
Mexican.
What's that?
The Mexican place?
I can't remember. I don't remember the food. What I do remember is your dad had written a letter to us. He was important that he remembered the things he wanted to say. And it was the most heartfelt, just talking about your future, how happy it was that we made this connection. And I'm gonna tear up now talking about it, but he was such a genuine person, and it was just important for him to let us know what a great experience it was for them as well, which was great because that's how we were feeling. And so, it made the end of the trip and the end of this project just really, really special. And we didn't talk that much about your mom and how much she was involved behind the scenes, but whenever there was something that just needed to get done, you communicated. We didn't even know what was going on, and there was so many things happening behind the scenes that made it just really enjoyable. So, Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you. No, this project is, I think, one of the most important things I've done in my life, because I just said yes to something I really, really wanted to do, without even knowing if I could be capable of. I didn't thought about the consequences. I didn't thought about just worrying about what was going to happen. I just said yes and just embraced it. And you guys showed me that that it was possible to do a lot of things a part of acting, that I had other things to do and to learn, because I learned so much from you guys, and you really gave me the trust just by that, just trusting somebody you didn't really even know, going to another country, I can't even understand how it happened.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful because you guys are so talented, and you guys are so hard workers. That's for learning from you guys has been an honor, and just I can't wait to work with you guys again. And me being now, it's been how many years? 3 years, 2 years?
2 years and a couple months now. Because I think it came out in April. It came out about 2 years ago.
Yeah. So it has been all of our lives have changed. I guess your lives and Beto's life and my life, but all for the best.
Sure.
We have learned a lot of things, so now we can do greater things, and I really can't wait to work with you guys. Not only because of the talented that you are, but because of the work you do.
I appreciate it, and same here. Beto, what have you been doing in the last 2 years, and where can people find sort of where's a central place people can find you and everything that you're doing?
Last 2 years I've been just recording some new music. The thing is that unfortunately the band that I was with at the time of the movie, Bendito Parche, we're no longer together. But now I'm doing a solo art career. So yeah, so you can find me at every social network. It's at Beto Valens, which is VETOUVALENS. And yeah, well, you can still hear the soundtrack of the movie. Yeah, I have it on. I will always have it on. It was very special. Yeah, you can hear it on Spotify or any other platform. So yeah, just looking forward to work with you guys again. You're all great people, first of all, and second of all, like just great professionalism. I'm sure that Taylor and Camila are gonna get an Oscar soon, so I can say that we've been in a movie together.
There we go. No, absolutely. And on the rebroadcast of this and on the YouTube link from here on out, I'll make sure I put your info so it's easy for people to find.
Yeah.
And then Camila, you've been busy. Do you have two Netflix series going at the same time? Is this right?
Yes, I mean, I've been right now in Netflix, I have 3 shows. I'm like mostly in 2 of them, but I've done a lot of things after that.
That's good.
Which made me so grateful because now I think I have learned more things to getting work with you guys, and also I have a bigger platform in social media, so I can reach more people. And it's not because of the followers what is important, but it's because of the message you give out there. So I think I don't know, we can reach a lot of people and show this movie to a lot of people that think that Colombia is only narco traffic and drugs and violence and a lot of things that we don't really like that do make part of, unfortunately, of the country with, like, the beautiful country we have, but it's not the only thing we have. And I think there are other things that are more important and that we show in this film.
Yeah. No, and so Netflix, just real quick, what are the name of your shows so people can find them?
Oh, yeah. Wild District. I don't know the name in English for Historia de un Crimen, Colmenares. I don't remember the name in English. I'll look for it. And Lord of the Skies 7th season.
Nice.
On
So, and when we're done, I'll get those links from you and also add them into the YouTube.
Great.
All right. You know, this is our first one. We're sort of stumbling through it, but I appreciate you both being on and getting to remember it. It by far was the most like zero problem, zero. Like it was just pleasant the entire way. And I'd never been in a country where no matter who you met, they seemed like they're happy to see you. Yeah, so that's the way I describe it. And you know, the comment we get from a lot of people who've seen the film is, I want to go there, which is good. So just real quick as we wrap it up, when did you guys go into quarantine and how's Colombia doing? Tell us about what you're doing right now and how long you've been locked down.
I've over 30 days on my house, but it's very great for me because I've been invited to a lot of festivals, like streaming festivals. And I've been doing a lot of content through just with my guitar, and I've been recording here at home, and I love it. I actually love it. I'd rather this way than going out, so I'm very happy.
Good. And Camila, how long do you guys start back up? What's your next project?
my next project, I mean, I'm still doing this series that is called Quererte here in national television. So we're in the middle of the project. We haven't finished it all because we had to stop because of the quarantine.
Yeah.
But when this finishes, I'm gonna keep doing the same projects and then keep auditioning and creating, well, my own stuff,
Good.
doing collaborations,
Right.
everything. Just creating a lot. I think this is an amazing time, as Beto says, to just remember the things that we want to do and to show and to collaborate with other people to create stuff.
Taylor, anything to say before we wrap up? Anything we missed?
No, just all I can say is, if you're ever at a hotel in Colombia and you go to get a massage at the hotel, make sure that the table's locked so that you don't fall over like Sean did.
Yeah. No, I mean, Camila, do you remember this was at a hotel? And so Taylor and I, we sort of had these side-by-side massages, and my table wasn't locked down. And so we get on the table, and it went down. And they didn't speak English, so I'm sure they were saying, I'm sorry, but it was...
It's like they were just laughing.
or just laughing. And lastly, the fourth person who was there with us the whole time is David. And David, if you're listening, couldn't have been done without you. Again, another person who was just so generous from the start.
Family.
Yeah, and again, family. His family's in the film. He's in the film. Made his acting debut, I think, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And so, yeah, thanks, David, for being part of it. All right, I'm going to let you guys get back to your regular lives. Stay safe, stay 6 feet, and hopefully the next time we see you, we can give you all a big hug, and it'll be cool to do that.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Bye, guys.
Miss you. See you soon.
Thank